Ron Harris here from muscledevelopment.com at the Chicago Pro, standing here with 212 champion Craig Richardson. Craig's been around a while. Craig's actually a little younger than I thought he was. I just found out Craig is 43. He's been around so long. Craig, how old were you when you did your first contest?
I was 17, the Suburban Championships.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you won the overall teen nationals way back when. Was it 94?
94, yes. Wow. Jose Raymond was the, I believe, lightweight at that contest.
Because I use you as an example over the years, because there haven't been that many teen national champions that went on to become pros. So I'd always say the last guy was Craig Richardson back in 1994. We've had a couple now more recently, but still, I always use you as an example. So for you to have this kind of longevity, because 17, I can't do the math, but that was a long time ago. So you just told Bob Ciccarello this is probably your last contest. Why is that?
You know, for the last, over 20 years, it's been, prepping and grinding. And, you turn around and your 5-year-old kid is 18, your, 8-year-old or, 9-year-old, she's 27 now.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, my wife and I started very young, but it's starting to, take its toll on me. At one point, I would get ready for contests in, 8 to 12 weeks. Within 6 weeks or so, I'd see my glutes and lower back and everything was like tight. Now it takes 16 weeks for me to see that stuff. Cardio twice a day, an hour each session. I actually have a full-time job. I work at a high school. I'm an attendance officer there, so I take care of all the students' attendance. We have like 3,500 students.
Wow.
Where I'm taking care of all of their attendance.
That's at one high school?
Yes.
Jeez.
It's like a college campus. It's 55 acres in Wayne, New Jersey, man. It's,
holy moly.
yeah, so, and we're bringing in another 300 next year, and within the next 4 years, we'll have between 12 and 1,500 additional students. So, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 3:30 in the morning, depending on how much cardio Chris wants me to do, starts to take its toll, especially when you have to do it for 6 months, at a time, just to get ready for one show. I never mind the grind, obviously. There's times I've dieted 7 or 8 months, but in the meantime, I would knock out maybe 4 or 5 shows in that period. Now I'm, dieting for 20 weeks for one show.
Wow.
So, it's starting to really take its toll, and beating me up a little bit, like especially the cardio. So, I'm going to talk to Mrs. Richardson. The Olympia's definitely out, but if she can, go through one more year, we may do New York next year. We'll see.
I mean, does it bum you out that you're not doing the Olympia?
No? It really does not. Again, working for the school system, I'm off summers with pay, so I can go on vacation. And for years, I remember at one point, for 6 years, I, didn't go on any vacations with my family. I didn't even celebrate my birthday. Pretty much my birthday's in July, and I'm prepping for the, the contest. And even though I know, or Chris would say, oh no, you can go ahead and have that meal. Psychologically, I just can't do it because I feel like, I'm cheating. Yeah. So it's like, hey, I'd never cheat on my diet. I'm never going to lose a contest, or, my placing isn't going to be bad because I didn't work hard enough, or I cheated on my, my prep. I'm going to give it 100% no matter what. So, that's the other thing. I can't slack off and go on vacation and things like that. And, some guys will say, hey, I'll just eat one bad meal a day. During a prep, I can't do it.
And you seem like you're a really good family man. How many kids and how many grandkids do you have at this point?
Well, I have 3 children, a 27-year-old, Qualea, Quishon is my son, he's 25, and Quatira is my 18-year-old daughter. They couldn't make it because they're all working. And my oldest, the 27-year-old, she's actually 8 months pregnant now. Again, yeah, so I'm going to be a grandfather twice. And my granddaughter is here with me, Ivani, tonight with my wife. So, yeah. And like I said, I missed out, on a few things in the kids' lives. I never missed out on birthdays or anything like that. But sometimes during the summer on vacations, I couldn't go, or, the vacation had to be cut short. Instead of a week, we stayed for 2 or 3 days because I'm prepping for a contest. So it's, I got to actually take some time to be normal.
I mean, these are things that people don't realize. They don't realize the sacrifices that you make. I mean, because most people picture bodybuilders as these solitary guys, living on their own, but they don't realize a lot of guys are like you, and you have to work an actual family into everything that you do. And I totally get it. If this is your last show, you've got nothing left to prove. You've been on the Olympus stage a few times.
Yes.
You've won several shows.
Yes.
And you did very well as an open long before there was a 212. And another thing, I mean, it's cool to go out on top. It's cool to go out when you're still looking good and placing well. And I mean, physically, you don't seem to have diminished much since 10, 15 years ago when you were just coming into the pro ranks and doing well. I mean, you look pretty much the same to me. It just seems like it takes you longer, what you're telling me, to get in shape, but no injuries, nothing. You don't seem to be losing any of your legs or anything like a lot of guys in their 40s do. Physically, do you feel like you're still kind of at your peak?
Yes, I actually feel pretty good. That's another thing. You want to get out while you're ahead sometimes, while my joints aren't killing me and while I can still walk, I want to be able to enjoy, some of my later years.
Right.
So, that's another thing to think about sometimes. We push our bodies to the limit, so much, and we don't think about sometimes, hey, when you're in your 50s or 60s, what's going to happen. My training partner and I always joke and say, hey, we're going to pay a price for this one day. At one point when I was able to squat 600, but he'd always say, hey, we're going to definitely pay a price for this. So I'm a firm believer in that. So listen, if I can go out while I'm still relatively healthy and, not so many aches and pains, then, I'll probably just do that.
I'm a pretty good observer. I see no torn muscles. You were able to get your arms back in rear delt biceps, so you still have some rotation left in your shoulders. So yeah, I mean, I think you're doing the right thing. A lot of people are going to blast you because they just want to see you compete, until you're 100 years old, and they expect you to look the same too. But you're a human being. You're not a robot. So there is a shelf life to this, and I applaud you for, if this is it for you, so that you can spend more time with your family, enjoy life, and just be a regular person. You're always going to train, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
You're never going to be a small guy, I'm sure. But, go out on top like this. If this is it for you, I support that wholeheartedly.
Thank you.
Cool, man. Congratulations, Craig. Great way to go out if this is it, with a win. That's pretty much the way everyone wants to do it, right?
Absolutely.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Enjoy a good meal. Enjoy your family. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, guys.
From MuscleElement.com, Ron Harris with Craig Richardson.